you're watching Daily News on All News Nigeria. I am Okwemi Olubemi. Here are the headlines for today. TINUBU licenses energy companies to import fuel. DOGARA asks TINUBU to prosecute oil thieves. Baby factory exposed in Nigerian-Cameroon border. Welcome back. Now the news. The federal government has granted approval to 6 companies for the importation of petroleum products. The Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority had earlier said 3 oil marketers will start importing petroleum products in July. Recall that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu granted licenses to Etana PLC, Emadep Energy Services Limited, and Asharami Energy to import petrol into the country from July. The 3 oil companies were given permission to import petrol by the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority. The companies are the first among the 6 oil firms licensed to import petrol by July. Following the withdrawal of the petrol subsidy, Nigerian National Petroleum Company (NNPC) Limited said it is no longer the sole supplier of petrol in the country. Prior to the subsidy removal, the company served as the country's last resort supplier, ensuring a steady distribution of petroleum products. On June 15, 2023, the Chief Executive Officer of NMDPRA, Mr. Farouk Ahmed, said that 3 oil marketers will start importing petroleum products from July. Ahmed said the oil marketers reached an agreement to enhance cooperation with security agencies with the aim of facilitating the seamless supply and distribution of petroleum products. Meanwhile, a former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogara, has called on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to pursue oil cabals and bring them to book. Speaking on the sidelines of a Thanksgiving church service in honor of the outgoing General Secretary of Evangelical Church Winning All, ECWA, in Kaduna State, Reverend Yunusa Madu, the former speaker, said that the president has so far demonstrated leadership and should be commended by all citizens. He, however, insisted that the president should ensure that all looted funds are recovered from the oil cabals. DOGARA also commended the president on the appointment of new service chiefs, noting that Tinubu has demonstrated leadership by carrying every region along, regardless of party, ethnicity, and religion. On their part, the ECWA General Secretary, Reverend Yunusa Madu, and the Senator representing Southern Kaduna, Sunday Katung, also commended the president on the appointment of the new service chiefs, which, according to them, is a demonstration of equity and justice. They, however, urged the new service chiefs to address the issue of insecurity ravaging the country, particularly in the northern region, just as they called on the president to provide palliatives to cushion the effects of the full subsidy removal. Finally, on the news, troops of the Nigerian Army have raided a baby factory in Adamawa State, arresting 7 suspects. According to reports, the suspects were apprehended during the operation on June 23, 2023, with the parade done at the military headquarters on Saturday. Also rescued were 17 teenage girls as well as 2 babies. The suspects were nabbed during a raid in their enclave in Adamawa State on the Nigerian-Cameroon border. They were said to be operating a brothel, human trafficking joint, and baby factory. The brigade commander, 23 Armored Brigade Yola, Major General Mohammed Jibrin Gambo, paraded the suspects on Saturday at the brigade headquarters in Yola, the Adamawa State capital.
Our troops on special operation in conjunction with the Department of State Security Services were on special operation, and they bumped into a baby-making factory between the borders of Cameroon and Nigeria at Bele. And they were able to apprehend 7 suspects and 17 young girls who are between the ages of 19 and 21. We equally have 2 infants amongst them. And presently, we have just brought them to the brigade headquarters. We are trying to profile them, and then we'll subsequently hand them over to the Department of State Security Services. Having said this, I want to advise all parents to keep an eye on their children, and equally for criminals that are trying to hibernate in Adamawa State, I will advise you to stay out of Adamawa State.
According to him, troops of the brigade were in a special operation on the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon, and upon credible information, stormed the enclave of criminals at the outskirts of Kansigila village in Maha local government area of Adamawa State. The suspect is stated to be apprehended in a border settlement less than a kilometer from the Balel district, the last community before entering the Cameroon Republic. The operation involved a joint team of security forces who rescued 17 girls between the ages of 19 to 21 years and 2 babies. Addressing journalists, the leader of the camp, Abubakar Abdullahi, said he got the girls from Adamawa, Gombe, and Borno states, where he established the camp used as a dance club, prostitution and sales of babies delivered by the girls within Nigeria and across the border of Cameroon. The rescued girls, said to have been in the camp for about 2 to 3 years, were recruited as minors and brought to the camp without the knowledge of their families. Some of the victims said they were accommodated in a single room and slept on mats. They also claimed that the money realized from was held back by their captors so that they cannot escape. The girls were also used to perform during wedding occasions and naming ceremonies within Nigeria and Cameroon, mostly among criminal gangs operating in the area. Investigation revealed a proliferation of such camps is prominent in the border areas where human trafficking has been on the rise. It is therefore expected that the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, will curb this ugly trend in the nearest future. And that's it on today's news. To keep up with All News Nigeria, kindly follow us on all social media platforms displayed on the screen. We will be back with more news updates. Until then, stay tuned. I am Okweyemi Olubimi. Do have a lovely day.